Crop damage is still being assessed in southern Minnesota after heavy rains and flooding in June. The state started off with historically high crop ratings for row crops, but those have slid along with production potential. I talked to farmers along the storm path to find out how much they think has been shaved off of this year's yields. Adam Bloom farms west of Worthington and says he received about 12 inches of rain the last 2 weeks of June.
We got one field that there's 15 acres that got drowned out, and that's not every field. And there's, like I say, there's a lot of fields that just got wet pockets or it's yellow.
And with more rain in July, Bloom thinks those wet areas and increased disease problems will drag down his yields to just average.
Right now, I would say if we had 180 bushel corn and 50 bushel beans, probably better be pretty happy.
Near Ellsworth, farmers received nearly half their annual rainfall in June. So crop conditions have dropped and crops are yellowing due to nutrient loss.
We are going to do a little side dressing of nitrogen now. We're starting with that now in our operation and putting some nitrogen on with some wide drops.
So he's also anticipating lower production off 2017.
I do not feel we're going to have as good a crop. I think there's just too many spots that are just drowned out, and we're going to have too many lost spots.
The water is receding here after Beaver Creek flooded and left a path of destruction.
Creeks and rivers, and if you're in a good flat field, yeah, some of those stood underwater too long and they got starved for the oxygen. And some of those are gone or they're very yellow. We'll see how they turn out.
Willer says this field of soybeans looks good because it's on high ground, but his other fields aren't faring as well.
Some of my better land where it's flatter probably looks poorer than the hillier ground does. My soybeans, I could have a 10% yield loss,
which is tough to absorb with already depressed prices. Minnesota FSA Executive Director Joe Martin says they don't have a total dollar amount on crop damage from the storms, as not all the counties have damage reports in.